Episode 2 of the Osu-Cast. Boom. I'm excited here because I got a young man, young martial artist here. He's representing our country soon. Eoghan Masoliver. How's it going on?
What's happening? All good.
What's a crack, wee big man?
All good.
I'd like to get you say a wee bit about yourself and all, and what do you compete in, and your martial arts, and what you've done before.
Obviously my name's Eoghan Masoliver, 16, from Derry. Compete in MMA, BJJ, kickboxing. I've been training for 10 years this November.
10 years?
It's crazy, like.
So what, since you were 6?
7 now.
7? Jeepers lad, hey, that's mad.
Crazy, hey?
That's actually mad.
Oh.
It's a long time now. Can you remember the first time you've ever trained, like?
I actually do. I remember the very first class. Thursday night kids kung fu class with Jason McCabe.
Serious? Is that who it was with? So you've been with Jason this whole time?
Been on with Jason the whole time.
So you've never been with anybody else?
Nah. Been on with Jason and John, like.
I'm with Jason McCabe too, for anybody listening too. Jason McCabe's a great coach of all martial arts, and John Rossborough too, two great coaches. But I never knew that. Did you been with Jason since day one?
He was on my very, very first class.
Serious? And he's always been in your corner in competitions and
always.
Everywhere. That's mad there. Shout out to Jason, hey, the big man.
That's a fact,
He's training a prodigy here. No wonder why Jason's so invested in you. It makes sense now, man. I've always seen it. Like, I've always seen how invested he is in you, and it definitely makes sense now. If he's been training you since day one, like, you know what I mean? It definitely makes sense why he's so invested in you. That's mad, lad. I can't get my head over that there. So, what was your first martial art then? So, would you say it was, like, what were you doing first? So, you said you did that freestyle kung fu with Jason, but were you doing BJJ or...
That was the first one. So I started in the freestyle kung fu, and then I moved into the traditional jiu-jitsu with John Rossborough as well. So I was doing them at the same time.
So you were doing more
traditional stuff.
Was the kung fu with Jason just like freestyle striking sort of?
So bit of striking, like it's a striking. It's like a
like the way John would do it with
exactly. But surprisingly, I didn't actually start BJJ years later because there was no kids BJJ classes. So I think I started involved when I was 7, and then I didn't start the BJJ till I was like 9 or 10.
So you were doing Japanese jiu-jitsu for a few years before?
I was doing them first, like.
Did you learn, like, see when you were doing, when I was younger and I did Japanese jiu-jitsu, like, did they teach you chokes still? Did they teach you
they done like arm bars and chokes and stuff, but like, obviously it wasn't the exact
BJJ
same, like,
style,
it wasn't BJJ.
It was more like street oriented too, because when I first learned how to do Japanese jiu-jitsu, they always showed me how to do a rear naked choke. You know, the one where you push their head forward, you know, that kind of you push their head under your arm and suck up and all. Because I mind when I was talking to Jason, I was like, so how do you do a rear naked choke? And he was like, no, you don't want to do it like that, you want to do it the Danaher way. No, you self it up and fucking pop your head off. And I always remember a lot of things from Japanese jiu-jitsu, even takedowns like mine. We were doing it with John a while back, where you get the single leg and you grab him by the throat and you kick behind the other leg and just like slam him right down on the ground. Because that works well with kickboxing too in K1. If somebody catches your kick and you just post out their neck and kick their other leg in, just sends them straight down. Japanese jiu-jitsu, it's a different martial art. Like, not many people, I don't know.
It's a lot different than MMA, like, because it is a lot more like self-defense orientated.
There's a lot of people on MMA and the UFC now too that are black belts in Japanese jiu-jitsu.
You are seeing it more, like you're seeing them kind of come through more.
It's a mad one, so it definitely is. Who's your favourite fighters now? Who would be like your biggest influences in fighting?
See, the past while I like GSP, but I haven't actually watched much of his fights. But see, as like a role model, I think he's the perfect role model for MMA.
He definitely is. Like the way he goes on, carries himself.
Exactly, He's
such an athletic person too. Have you ever seen him do the backflips and like on the poles when he's doing the gymnastics?
It's crazy.
All that there, that's mad. And the fact that he still trains with the Death Squad.
That's what I was going to say. Even now, like, he's done his MMA career, but he still trains, he still enjoys martial arts. I think that's class to see, like.
He doesn't have to, like you said, he's content now with life. He could just be living now and be like fat GSP and not have to keep training, but he's in there with killers. And his jiu-jitsu must be really, really good. Like, his jiu-jitsu must be next level.
He's in there training with Danaher, like.
With Gordon Ryan all the time too. Because if he's in there and Danaher, like when Danaher talks about GSP and Gordon Ryan training together, you can always see that he doesn't want to like say like GSP's definitely give it to Gordon Ryan a few times, because people have asked him and all, what was GSP like, you know, when he comes on and trains with a black belt and all, and you hear like Danaher always turn around and say he gives him a hard go and all. You hear him, like, he definitely throws a few people around the place, like, and I wouldn't be surprised because he's probably a black belt too long before all them people, and
definitely
they're probably all training more modern techniques, and
they're doing more now But GSP's been doing it for years and years.
Exactly, so he just needs to integrate their modern techniques into his already solid game. And his game's much different too. It'd be more like Habib compared to Emmons. He'd be just Habib and them guys.
Exactly, they're all like submission oriented.
He'd be just wrestling heavy and getting top on him, break him and make him give him a submission and all. GSP's a really good grappler too.
He is. I think like with the way like, I just think he's the perfect role model. He's done everything like right and by the book. Like, I think there's a big difference between like pound for pound and the GOAT. Like, I consider GSP the GOAT because he's done everything right. But John Jones is there for pound, but with the whole thing about like hitting the car and all, steroids,
hit and run.
Exactly. I wouldn't consider him the GOAT.
It's controversial because like it depends what it's up for, but at the same time too, in my head I'm like, he is the GOAT because like, see when he turned around to DC and he was I took cocaine all the week before and all, but he used to do that there because he was like that self-conscious of losing. He didn't want to accept losing. He would party the week before, so if he lost then he would have an excuse, but he never lost. It's just that good, you know what I mean? He never lost.
He is incredible, like, but I think as a role model, he ain't up there with GSP.
He's no role model, but at the end of the day, they're fighters, man. You know what I mean? As much as you want them to be role models, that's what makes them great too. The fact that he's not a good role model is what makes him such a good fighter.
He's like a villain.
And the fact that GSP's such a good role model could have been his downfall in his career.
People found him a while boring towards the end, like.
You know what I'm saying? And he got hurt too a few times. Like, he got knocked out in his career, and he got submitted too. John Jones, and like, he's never really.
He's never been beat, like, he hasn't.
He got his arm popped. He dislocated his shoulder against Vitor Belfort, but he still won the fight with Kimura, and he ended up on top. Still won the fight with Kimura. He also got rocked up in the Thiago fight, and he got rocked up in the Reyes fight, but that's right. He never really got hurt, or there was nothing like, he got battered, but he never got hurt. You know what I mean? But it's up for debate anyway, 100%. Like, who would be like your actual favourite fighters to watch now currently at the moment?
I like Brian Ortega. I think like, I have a similar style to him, and it's good to watch him and see him do well, especially at like Korean Zombie fight.
No, he's really evolved, hasn't he?
He has. Like, he took a few years out there, and his striking just went up levels. Like, it was crazy.
He's training with a great Muay Thai coach too. I can't remember his name, but when them calf kicks came out and everybody was looking for ways to defend the calf kicks, he was one of the only coaches I could find online that was like putting out a good video explaining how to what way to keep your stance and all, and how MMA fighters should be standing if they want to deal with calf kicks, and how they shouldn't be standing. And it talks about how like Muay Thai fighters never really have to deal with calf kicks because they're standing, they're never standing bladed.
They're always square, like.
They're square, their stance is like a V, and because of their shins always turned outwards. Like, if you try to throw a calf kick in a Muay Thai fighter, and the way his legs generally positioned, you're going to just kick his shin, so you need to aim for the meat. And you see a lot of Muay Thai fighters now on YouTube and Instagram and all. I seen it like this weekend after the McGregor, 2 weeks ago, I seen it after the McGregor fight. A lot of Muay Thai fighters were commenting on, this is why we kick the thigh and all, the ways why we kick the meat and all, so we don't aim for the calf in Muay Thai. But at the same time, they can't really say much, like, because
it's a different sport.
It was never really a part of Muay Thai to kick the calf and stuff like that. Like, as a tactic.
You've never seen it before.
They would do it for sweeps and stuff like that. Like, you see it on Muay Thai extensively. When people go to check kicks, they like kick the calf. They sweep them. They like step on behind that and stuff like that there. But they don't use the calf kick like they would use it on MMA. They try to debilitate the leg. They hurt them, like. They stop them, because Muay Thai is sort of back and forth, whereas in MMA there's a lot of movement, and if you can stifle somebody's movement, then the fight generally goes in your favour, and big time. But what age did you start competing at?
Probably 9, 10. Oh well, probably about 9 or 10, and my first competition was BJJ in Belfast.
Did you win?
No. I got smashed. I got smashed, but like, I got smashed, but I was like, when I did, I was like, nah, I want to get better, and that's when like I proper threw myself in it and started improving.
What feeling, big time. Big time, hey. So you were what age? 9 on this one?
9, 10,
Did you get submitted?
No, I don't think so. I think I
got ragdolled.
Got smashed on points.
That's not too bad there.
I think I actually won the first fight, and then I lost the second, but I was still like, I don't want to lose, obviously.
So if you won the first fight, at least you had some moral victory. You know what I mean? At least like.
I was away and I was like, no, I don't want to lose.
Jiu-jitsu's not like kickboxing and that. You show up and you want to fight. You know what I mean? Sometimes jiu-jitsu, you show up and you want to fight, and you do another fight, and you do another fight, and you know it's just like who's got the best gas tank at that point, because you could be just as good as each other, but depending on how your fight went and on how his fight went.
And sometimes it depends on the bracket as well. Like I could have had 4 easy fights to get to the final. Some of them all I'm fresh, but you could have won, say, 4 fights, all went the full 4 or 5 minutes, and you could be wrecked.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes too, when you're doing them wee young houses and all too, and sometimes you have to do somebody, like you have to fight somebody, and somebody's sitting there fresh. You just did a 5-minute match and you get thrown back on the mat straight away, and we have some fresh boy, and you're sitting there just looking at him like, can he breathe and all? You're like, sound, and this boy's fresh here, ready to go. But well, has to be done. That's what's fun about jiu-jitsu and watching it too. But like, it's definitely different. It definitely is different. Like, but it's beautiful too when you see it get integrated with MMA. When you see people use it. When
you see people bring it on properly, like.
Because you really need to force it on somebody on MMA. Like, it's a lot different where you can't really just sick yard and expect it.
Because you'll get hurt, like, if you do.
Somebody will just start swinging on you, get top, pressure you. And the way people are learning to wrestle now, they just know how to negate jiu-jitsu completely.
That's true,
just know where to position their hands and all, and smash and...
Dagestani handcuffs.
I know, I do Dagestani handcuffs. Oh, I love them there. I hate when people do that to me.
I know, it's so hard to get out.
And somebody turtles you up or something, grabs your hand, just sucks it under your chest and just takes out the post, drops you on your face. It's the worst there, so it is. What have you all won in competitions anyway?
I've won most in BJJ. I've got 2 world titles, 4 European and 9 Irish.
Jesus Christ, eh?
9
Irish titles.
And that's like...
Let's say that again, go.
2 world titles, 4 European and 9 Irish.
Jesus, lad, that's...
And then I have like...
impressive.
I have a silver at the Worlds, I have silver at the Europeans, 2 bronzes, 3 bronzes at the Europeans. Then I don't know, however many on Irish level, like.
And you're soon to be going to represent our country for Bulgaria. Yep. How long now? 2 weeks?
2 weeks on Wednesday.
2 weeks time now you're going to represent our country?
1 week.
1 week, lad? Jesus.
1 week away.
Right round the corner now, man.
I don't know why, it's crazy.
That's mad there. So you're pretty accomplished, like, for your own age already, man, if you think about it. 16 years of age, you have a lot of experience. Do you expect all the people that you'll be competing in Bulgaria too will be the same?
100%. They're all going to be high level, like. 100%.
Especially if they're all 16 too, if they're all around your age.
Like my age group's 16, 17, so like they're going to have a lot of experience. So, like all the Russians, they're going to be training since they're 3.
Do you feel like you're ready?
100%. 100%.
That's what you need, man. You need to be confident, hey. Just go on, show who's the man.
See now, like, obviously I'm still in school, but with COVID and all, normally I get study leave and I get off, and then when I'm done my exams I don't have to do anything. But I got off like start of June, mid-June, see ever since, training 2-3 times a day, haven't stopped, like it's been the perfect opportunity. Like I have a proper fight camp now, and it's been absolutely unreal. Like
that's what you need there, man. That's what you want. That's what you want going forward. Hey, man, you want to treat it properly now, especially if you're growing into your body and you're starting to get a lot of muscle about you and get bigger. You want to treat your body like that there. You want to treat your body right. Have your rest days and, you know what I mean, have your schedule set
exactly out. I have my recovery sessions, so you
can be the best athlete you possibly can. Because fighting's not just about being the best fighter anymore too. It's about your athletic abilities, you know what I mean, how you good your conditioning is, and your mental too. It's a big part of being mental. Like really your mental is nearly most of it, but at the same time you need your body to be able to hold up.
Of course, but
your body can't hold up.
I think the body, like getting your body right, is the easy part. It is, like the mental side of it's a lot harder.
And mental, exactly, knowing that you're going into war.
It's a fact, and accepting it. Like,
and a lot of people can just negate the mental part by just thinking that they're going to win and it's going to be easy sailing. But then if
they get shocked, like
if you're going into a competition just thinking, obviously you need to be confident and you need to be ready to know that you're going to go dominate, but you need to know too what could happen, what could go wrong.
Like I know I'm going to have tough fights out here. Like absolutely no fights are going to be easy.
Exactly.
These people are training just as hard as I am. Like
exactly, man. That's how you should know. You should know going into these bouts that they're going to be hard bouts. Even if you could go on fucking pull arm bars and just finish boys in 30 seconds.
Calling a flying triangle now. Heard it here first.
That's sweet, lad. That's it. I believe in you, man. Somebody should have single leg on you.
It's a fact.
You'll just sprawl out, overhook, lift that up there, man.
There you go.
That'll be the last thing, man.
Highlight reel.
Oh, stop that. I believe in you, man, because even working with you now, man, even my takedown defense got better working with you since you went down there, man. You were doing some of them drills with me. like a lot of that there, overhooking and like a lot of them counters you were teaching me, you know, even when people were trying to, you know, drive back and then you flip them around, stuff like that there. Like it was impressive stuff, like, and you're only 16, you're teaching me out there, I'm 21, you know what I mean, man? And I just can't wait to see how you do anyway, man. So when you go over here too, it's only going to be body strikes, isn't it?
So under 18 there's no headshots, no headshots stand, no headshots on the ground, so body shots, leg kicks, and that's in wrestling.
Does that change up a game a lot, do you think?
Like that's like, it's really wrestling orientated now. Like that gives a massive advantage to like the Russians, the Kazakhs, do you know what I mean?
What do you feel like your game plan will be going on then? Do you feel like you're coming on with a grappling heavy plan?
I do think, like, obviously I'll be fighting wrestlers, but I think wrestle to get top position, they submit. I think that's the key, obviously, because it's MMA. Like if you're on bottom, you're losing. So you need top position.
You're a really good bottom player too, but
I know that's where it kind of gets confusing, because I have a lot of submissions off my back. So even if I was bottom, potentially I could still win the round if I'm attacking, but I don't think it's worth the risk. Like I think top position, just get on, smash, get position, something like that.
100%. You don't want to be on the bottom, but if you do end up on the bottom, you'll be all good.
I know I have my base there, like.
Exactly, because even from your half guard and all too, your half guards, it's weird, like, you know what I mean? You don't know if you're safe or not. You get a lot of good sweeps and stuff like that, so even, you know what I mean, I would feel confident if someone even got you down, try to smash you, be able to just sweep them fast, you know, end up on top, then come up on top of them, just pound them. It fucking, oh man, it's gonna be crazy to watch. I actually can't wait to that. I can't wait.
I leave on the Wednesday. Once I get there, I have to isolate for 24 hours, get COVID tested, isolate. Then the Thursday is the draw, so I find out who I'm fighting on the Thursday. Then, as far as I know, I fight on the Friday. Weigh in Friday morning, have my first 2 fights on the Friday, another 2 on the Saturday, and then the final on the Sunday. And then I need to weigh in each morning, like, so.
Each morning you have to weigh in? So you have to be on weight at all time?
I'm grand for weight, I'm below me weight already now, like, so,
so
it's not a worry.
What about, do you reckon any of these boys but are going to be cutting weight for that?
100%, like, all these Russians are going to be cutting a lot. And, like, they might get on grand on the first day, but when it comes to second, and if they cut again, they're going to feel it, like.
What ways it work? If you lose your first day, you not get on the second day, or?
I think, so I have 2 fights on the Friday, and that is, as far as I know, they do it in like pools. They put you in pools of 3 or 4, and whoever wins the most fights out of your pool goes into the, like, round of 6 or round of 8 maybe, I don't know, into knockouts, and then after that, if you lose, you're out.
Well, it's a big experience for you anyway, man.
I know why, even just getting the travel and fighting in another country at this age, like, some experience.
Against Russians and all.
There's 2 Russians in my section, 2 Kazakhs.
Fuck them, man. Go out and chop their body up, just if you know they're going to be cutting weight, man, just.
True. Just deliver.
I know why, man. They get in push kicks and just doing body shots hard. Do you reckon that they'll be shooting on you, like?
I do think they'll be shooting, because obviously they're predominantly wrestlers, like, and striking's kind of, it gets cut out with the no headshots. So I do think they'll be shooting on, like.
How do you feel about the striking, you know, headshots? Do you think it's going to be a lot harder to land strikes, knowing that?
Like, I think
if you both know that you've got 2 targets, the body or the.
Like, I can just sit there with my hands on my body and defend myself.
When
like.
me and you were training a while back, you were just catching all my body kicks.
Exactly.
But it's more the anticipation that you knew I couldn't hit you anywhere else anyway, you know what I mean?
That's another, like, strike cut out, because if you throw a body kick, I'm going to catch and take it down.
Exactly.
Then I have top position.
You don't have to worry about getting kicked in the head.
Exactly,
But at the same time, what if they kicked you in the head by accident? Did they get fouled?
I think so, I think so.
Because you wouldn't want that there if you're in a matter of fighting, your hands are down and all.
You're not expecting it.
You're doing all this shit and boom, you get kicked in the fucking head then. That'd be fucking
crazy. Like.
You're going mad. You'd be Russian cunt now. I'd be just sitting there screaming at my TV and fucking Dagestani. I'd be going mad back here. Swear. What, man? Out there, it's gonna be different, man, for definitely the rule set. Like,
obviously, I've been training with that rule set the past few weeks, past few months. Like, it has been hard to adjust. Like,
you're definitely prepared, but it is a weird one. It is a weird one, and you're used to training with headshots. Like,
I've been training with headshots since I'm like 7, since I started.
Exactly.
Like, it's a lot harder to set up takedowns as well. Like, normally you could jab, you could cross, they set up the takedowns, but now, like, even if you jab the body, they're not going to move because their hands are going to be there anyways. So it stops. It reduces that. Like,
even head fins too ain't going to work as effective.
Because what if you actually throw it, hit them on the head, and
exactly. And like, a lot, like when we were sparring a lot, I would always, like even when I wasn't trying to hit you in the head, I'd try to like touch your gloves a bit, but even that there
exactly.
too, like you're susceptible, because once you try to start touching their gloves, they like set up things, like you're susceptible to counters and stuff like that too, like it's not the same, it's just not the same.
It makes a big difference, like.
A lot of level changing the strike, you know what I mean?
True.
But at the same time too, you never know, because that could play in the favour too, like when you're level changing the strike, they might think you're trying to take them down, or when you're level changing to take them down, they might think you're trying to strike, you know what I mean? So you might gauge a wrong reaction. You never know. You might get that wild fast when you're out there noticing. You know what I mean? It's this boy here's reacting like that, and he's reacting like that, and you're able to capitalise on it. Hopefully you are anyway.
I will.
Hopefully, lad. Hopefully.
I will.
Do you plan to stay on your feet for long in the fights, like when you go out
really.
there?
I think like the one thing I don't want to do, I don't want to go out and get taken down, put me back, and get put in the back foot. Because I start, like, whenever I fight, I start way slow. Like, it's been out for I don't know how long. Like, even when I'm running, I start slow when I'm running, and then I get on the pace for myself.
Like, as long as you know that too. As long as you know yourself that you start slow. Because not everybody's a fast starter. Not everybody can just run out the gate and be comfortable. Be comfortable and not fire. Like, a lot of people need to gauge the power and whatnot, before they feel comfortable
But, see, I would normally do that, and I'd be pretty comfortable doing that, but it's 3 2-minute rounds, so I don't have a lot of time to do that.
You have to go.
I have to go.
Go. Have you been trying to implement that into your sparring? Like,
it's true. I have been, like, but obviously it is hard to do so, because naturally I don't want to, so I need to force myself to do it. Like,
you want to be more patient. I understand, man. Because I have sparred with you a lot, man, and you are very smart. You're like,
I like being technical with stuff.
You think about what you do. You don't get caught with stupid things because you're not constantly rushing. You know what I mean? You take small steps and hand trap, and you fight, you play games, you know what I mean?
Like, whenever I spar with headshots, like doing that, like popping the hand down. And
you always switch on the southpaw and like
exactly.
You literally just walk past you know what I mean? Like when you're hand trapping on hand, you always like walk, get the outside foot positioning, just ping boys with shots, and that definitely does get changed a lot. Do you reckon there will be like hand trapping as much fight?
Not really, because their hands they're going to be down, and I'm not going to head at all. So unless I'm like arm dragging or something, but even arm drags in MMA is it's a bit of an awkward one, like, because if I'm arm dragging with 2 hands, they're just gonna hit me in the body, like. It's a bit awkward.
It's completely different, like, it definitely is. It's a weird one. Are you allowed to knee a body?
No knees at all.
No knees too, so. Well, that changes it too. If you get tucked around against a cage, like, you don't have to worry about that. You can just jump back up too. You don't have to worry about getting smashed knees to the body. That's a big thing that stops a lot of MMA fighters getting back up, is the knees. They're worried about that. You can definitely tell.
Sometimes you can feel them coming, like.
Because a lot of boys just stay flat their back because they don't want to turn a certain way. Like, they know, like, if they just stand up with their head down, they're going to get guillotined. They're kneeing their head.
That's another thing. I'm only allowed guillotines from the ground. No standing guillotines. It's a weird one, isn't it?
What if they shoot?
I'm going to have to fall with it, like. I can wrap it up and then fall.
Well, it's not too bad then.
I know, but then I'm on my back, like.
What if they lift you up?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like if they lift you up for about elevated double and you get their neck but at the same time and you come down on their neck, like, is that legal, like?
I think so, as far as I know.
Hopefully that should be. I was about to say that, because if they're allowed to shoot takedowns and you grab a guillotine, so you're not allowed to finish a guillotine standing, just?
No, you have to take it to the floor, like.
Why is that? Is that because it's like such a neck?
Something to do with the neck, like.
Because when you do finish a guillotine standing, but you need to like proper.
It cranks the neck forward.
Like, you ever see people when they get guillotine standing, like their whole like spine and everything,
their body twists,
their whole body's contorted. But when you're on the ground, but on the ground too, it's still a neck.
It's the same thing, like. I don't understand that at all.
It's like it's like your vertebrae is getting popped out of your spine on the ground more than anything, because you've got your.
You can use your legs as well.
You can use your legs. It's like no fucking bow and arrow choking somebody from the back.
It'd be different if there was no guillotines at all, but that specific one, I don't understand it, like.
Oh well. What about? Is there anything else that's not allowed on it, like knee bars?
I can do knee bars. I can do toe holds, but only on a straight leg. It's a weird one, isn't it?
A toe hold on a straight leg.
So like I could say if I'm attacking a knee bar, I can toe hold, but if I like specifically go for a toe hold, I can't bend it up, which is weird because that makes it tighter. Like that puts more power on it.
That's weird.
I know. That's a weird one. Like I don't understand it.
So what would they be looking more for? Like an Achilles lock?
I can do a straight ankle locks, Achilles locks.
You're allowed to do them, man.
Obviously no heel hooks.
No reaping the knee.
I can reap the knee, as far as I know.
You're allowed to reap the knee, yeah. Jeez, that's. I'm surprised they let you do that there. If you're not allowed to do a bent toe hold, but you're allowed to reap a knee.
I'm not sure, actually. I could be wrong about that. I'm not 100%. I need to check like
for days, lad. You need to check that out, because reaping an ET, like, you know what I mean, that could be a big thing there too. If them Dagestanis are trying to get on you, man, you know what I mean, reap a fuck out of their legs, like, just rip her knees, lad, rip her knees apart, just man, get the fuck away from me. You don't see that much in MMA, and when you do see it, it's beautiful. When boys are getting smashed from the top, and they have to, like, they have no way out, so they have to go under, and they go under, and they attack the legs, and it makes the boy on the top have to turn and pull his leg out, like a single, like rip his leg out, and when he does, the other boy has a chance to stand up, and
I like advances the position.
It gives you a good opportunity just to create something. A lot of people don't see it that way. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to go for a leg lock, and if I don't get it, I'm fucked. But you're not even trying to get a leg lock.
But even if they don't get it, they've changed the position.
Exactly.
And they're not on bottom anymore.
Exactly. You've made something happen. That's the whole point you're doing. You're not even trying to get a leg lock. You're just trying to get them to fuck off you. Like, a lot of people in MMA don't do that. Hey, but you've seen what happens to you. But
sometimes you get smashed. Like,
did you see the fight a while back? Who was it? James Cross's student. Wee blonde boy, he's a lightweight, he's a wrestler. I'm trying to think now. He knocked that boy out in the last 3 seconds of the fight. This is doing my head on now, because this was one of our greatest, it was one of the best fights I've ever seen. Man, I was on an undercard, and your man James Cross's student was a wrestler, like an NCAA wrestler, AA wrestler or some shit like that there, and the boy was fighting was a 3rd degree black belt. And it was a good fight time. They were going back and forth, striking, but your black belt boy was up 2 rounds on the strikes because he was taller and he was longer, but the other boy was still good, and got into the 3rd round. James Cross turned around and was alright, lad, we need a finish now. Like,
we need something.
You need to go out and finish him now, because your wee wrestler was taking over at the end of the 2nd round, but it wasn't enough to win the fight, and he was like, you need to finish him now, and your wee wrestler was out trying his hardest, then he was on top of your man, and he was just smashing through his guard, smash passing and all, just pounding your black belt, and the black belt fucking went on the single leg X and fucking whatever he was doing, he went on the single leg X, and he was like trying to sweep him down and take a leg, and when he was trying to take a leg, your man just got hand control, and that's when he got hand control, he just threw 2 hammer fists, man, 2 hammer fists downwards, and knocked your boy clean out with 3 seconds left in the fight.
Nico Price's fight, he's on bottom, throws a hammer fist, knocks the boy clean out.
The cage. That was a weird position he was in too.
It was crazy, like,
it looked like he was on an armbar, but he wasn't, the way he had his legs on him, and he just slapped him twice in,
quite cold, quite cold.
You could get so many unorthodox knockouts in MMA.
Because you can strike from anywhere, like.
I know, but and a lot of it's not even been tapped on yet, if you think about it, because a lot of people don't understand ground and pound yet. Like, that. They know what ground and pound is and whatnot, but they don't. Ground and pound is its own martial art, but it doesn't get treated like one.
It's its own like section of MMA, but it's hard to train because you don't want to be smashing everybody you train with, because brain damage, like.
I know, but we don't. You know what I mean? You don't train ground and pound too. Like, you train kickboxing or something. You might do some ground and pound draws,
but there's no like
control a hand and hit, you know what I mean, and do it. But there's no actual set way to ground and pound, you know what I mean? Like, this is how you should be ground and pound.
Like, you can see all the instructionals for kickboxing, for BJJ, but there's nothing really like that for ground and pound.
It's surprising that there's not, because it's a big part of the sport too.
It changes a lot of stuff.
You can see fights get ended by ground and pound in seconds, and because you don't have a base from under you with your legs, you can't absorb the damage, so you just get your head smashed clean onto the floor, 2 free shots, boom, and that's you out.
You're right.
And like everything we train, MMA, like, what do you call it, MMA grappling in the gym with the gloves. I'm never on bottom. Fuck that.
You don't want to be on bottom.
I don't want to be the boy getting my head pounded in. I'd be scrambling for my life. I'd be just trying to come up.
You're getting up.
Even if I can end up on a feet where we start wrestling, you can't pound my head in. I'm all good with that. You know what I mean? I don't want to be on the ground, get my head smashed in, because it's the worst. You're trying to grab some boy's arm and he just hits you with the other arm, man, or something like that, and just like, literally, you're just losing a wee second there. It's like a wee flash.
You feel the brain cells dying, like.
And see when somebody stacks you up, man, and they can use both arms in too. It's hard to get your feet on their hips in. It's really hard to get your feet on their hips. But long were you a white belt before you got your blue belt?
That's a bit of a weird one, because I was a Wayne when I started BJJ, so I went through like the kids grading system, so technically I was always a white belt, but I went like, so I maybe had my white belt for maybe a year and a half, then I went grey, then grey and black, yellow and white, orange, and then I got my blue. So I got my blue maybe like a month before I turned 16, but I got it because like it was the year I turned 16, so if I were to compete, I would have had to compete juvenile blue. So I got it, and technically I was still a white belt up until that point, because basically the way the kids system works, if I was a orange belt, which I was before I went to blue, and I turned 16, but my coach didn't think I was ready for my blue belt, either I would stay an orange belt, or I would get like a white belt with 3 stripes. So like grey would be white belt with 1 stripe, yellow 2, orange 3, green 4. So it was weird, like, because I was but I wasn't, and then I got my blue, so it didn't really affect me, like.
And so it didn't feel the same for you as like other people that you think like it's different, but you definitely are a blue belt, man. There's no doubt in that.
I'm competing now September at the kids Europeans, like, at juvenile blue.
Is this your first blue?
It's my first blue belt competition, like.
How do you feel about that? Nervous?
Not really, because it's the same people I've been fighting. Do you know what I mean? Because everyone's moving up to juvenile blue now, so I'm alright with it, like.
I suppose, man. Suppose if you see it that way too, that'll probably be the case too with me. If I just keep competing, a lot of people I compete with and
they'll be moving up with you,
you
like.
know what I mean? I'll probably end up meeting them again.
Exactly.
It's
the same people, like see the second time I went to the Europeans, I fought this boy, Thomas Farrell, I think you call him. I'm not 100% sure about that, but last time I was there, I fought him at the Worlds and the Europeans. So I fought him a total of maybe like 6 times or something over the space of a few years. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the same.
Always bumping on each other.
The same people coming through, like.
Like, these know each other, like, are these friends with each other now at this point?
Get on pretty well with him, like.
Yo, what's a crack down?
What's happening, lad?
Who won more of you see?
Me.
Did you beat him, man? How did you get him?
I see, he beat me the very first time. I was absolutely raging, right? So see, that was my second time going to the Europeans, and that was the first year where they had gi and no gi, but I only went to the no gi, right? No, sorry, I only went to the gi, and that was on the Sunday, and I didn't go to no gi Sunday with flights, right? But my granddad died on the Friday, so like it was obviously pure hard for me, and I went to his wake on the Saturday, and then I left, and I missed his funeral to go to fight at the Europeans, like, and he beat me. I was absolutely raging.
Must have been burning up inside there, man.
I was absolutely raging.
Of course.
And then the next time I fought him was at the World Championships in 2019, and he beat me again. He beat me in the gi twice, and I was raging, like, I was kicking myself.
So what was this now? How many times did he beat you now?
Twice. So at that stage he beat me twice, right? And then on the Sunday I done the no gi, and he was in my section, right? I beat him in my section. They won the gold, and then I went on the absolute and beat him twice. So in one day I beat him 3 times. So that's 3-2 to me.
It goes to show you, but man, it's like any given time, or no, it can be. It's not always down to just somebody's just better. It's all factors.
There's so much that comes into play for it. Like
you said, you were going on to the first match and you just missed a funeral and whatnot.
It was tough, like, obviously.
You know what I mean? But that's a lot on your shoulders there. You know, you could.
I was still young, like.
You could have went in there with a clear head, not worrying about any of that there, and it could have. You could have possibly won every match. You know what I mean?
True.
You've ever went to get this point?
And then I fought him at the Europeans then. So the Worlds were in July, then the Europeans were in September. I fought him at the Europeans no-gi in the absolute, and that was the very first round of the absolute, and it was one of the toughest fights I've ever had. Like, it went to referee decision and I won, and I was buzzing, and then I had like 2 more fights in the absolute. It was crazy, like.
You tired?
I was wrecked, man. I won, seeing the final then, so I beat him, and then I had a fight in between, armbar the boy, like triangle armbar from Mount. Then in the final, it was another boy from Dublin, from Ireland, like, and I was fighting him, whatever, and we got stood up with 5 seconds to go. I was down by an advantage, so neither of us had scored points, but if it goes to like either the same points or no points, whoever has the most advantages wins.
He just raised his hand
exactly. Much. But I took him down in the last 5 seconds, like, to win the final of the absolutes, and it was crazy, like. That's probably one of my best accomplishments, like.
What tournament was this at?
It was the Europeans.
The Europeans? Where was this?
Wolverhampton.
Jeez. So what age were you when you did this?
This was 2019, so 15 maybe. 14 now.
Fair play to you. Was the boy same size as you or bigger?
He was bigger, because absolute, obviously he was the weight class above.
So what weight were you back in?
I was, Jesus, I don't know, I've grown a lot like in the past while.
I've grown a lot because I was on looking at your Instagram, man. Even like the last 3 years, I was looking at you 3 years ago, man. You're like fucking
I'm tiny, like, aren't
so small, man.
It's crazy.
Like, do you remember the first time I ever met you, like in the gym, I sparring me, and you were telling me not to throw head kicks, no, or something? You were like pure small, man. And I wasn't trying to like kick you in the head, I was like just messing about, but you were just watch him head kicks now, watch him head kicks now. And I was just like, sweet, but you were so small back then.
You throwing a body kick with my head, right?
Exactly, that's what I mean, you were so small back then, man, and watching you in over like the last year just grew. Like, mind the last time I was sparring you, sort of, when we were doing them body shots for the IMMAFS, I was just looking at you, I was like, what the fucking size are you?
That's right, I mind that actually.
What the fuck, cause
crazy, like.
every time I spar you keep getting bigger and bigger, like your back and your shoulder, like you're actually growing on there, like you're growing on their body now, man, and that doesn't really come to you till you're about 19, you don't properly fall out. And it's weird, like you'll notice it, like you think you're getting big and big, but then you just keep getting bigger and bigger and growing. But then when you get to about 19, 20, you really need to take care of your body too. You can't see when you're at this age now, you have a metabolism and whatnot, you're already like a lean kid, like, so it won't be hard for you to manage weight too much.
Maintain it, like.
But when you get to about 19, 20 and you get all your muscle and whatnot, then that's a lot harder to manage weight. You need to stay on top of it and keep healthy, no weight diet and that.
Because your metabolism starts to go in, like.
Pretty much, and it's your body, because of all the years in of, like, you took care of your body, so wouldn't be the same, but a lot of people, all the years of just going through shite, you know what I mean, with our body, and once you get to like 20, 21, then it's not so easy anymore. You have to cut sugar and everything out, you know what I mean? You need to have the right nutrients and whatnot to your body, it just fall apart on you big time. When I was doing personal training over in the water side with Shane McLaughlin, shout out to Shane McLaughlin, like he used to just do my head on about eating carbohydrates for energy and protein and all when they recover, and when to eat and what to use and when to use it and whatnot. And at the start I was like, whatever, shave, whatever. But then the more I was training, when you're training, you're stressing your muscles.
That's true,
Do you ever lift weights or anything like that? So when you're lifting weights, you're stressing your muscles and your joints. They say that people who lift weights tend to have stronger joints in general, like the
knees, like the tendons and the ligaments.
No, you have stronger joints, like, you know what I mean. And when you're training weightlifting and whatnot, you be sore a while lot, and if you're not,
you get that DOMS.
If you be wild sore and tense and all, and if you're not eating the right nutrition,
getting enough protein, like.
If you don't get the right protein and the right carbohydrates and stuff for energy and whatnot, then your body just, man, you actually don't even want to train, like.
Because you feel pure lethargic and like you don't want to do anything.
You're just, I can't do nothing, all my arms are sore, my legs are sore, this and that. That's when problems start happening. Then you get like you have a sore hamstring, but in reality it's like up your back or something, you know what I mean?
It's weird how the body works, like.
Is it not?
If there's something wrong in your back, it's a muscle somewhere else that like compensates for it.
My hip was getting bad there for a while. It was really bad. I had to go see a physiotherapist, and she was doing something on my back. Like, you've got like a hip, like, so there's like a muscle in your back. It like goes down to your hip. Your hip's in line with, and your hip then connects your whole leg, like down through your knee and everywhere.
Crazy.
And the girl was like they sort my hip out. She was doing something on my back, and you know what I mean. And the whole time and all. And by the time she was done, then my hip felt far better too. And I was surprised. It was weird. But generally, when you have a problem, it's always there's somewhere else in your body. There's always a root to the problem, and it's weird to get your head around. It definitely is.
You struggle about weight, like.
I know, especially too if you're just somebody that just wants to fucking do martial arts or just train all the time.
You don't want to be thinking about that stuff.
You just want to go. You don't want to be thinking about that, but then you do, and when you do, you have to think about that. Then it nearly puts the brakes on. You know what I mean?
It slows everything down.
You have to start thinking about what you're doing. And see now, Jared, this age now, it's 16. Like, how many days a week do you train?
Every day, like.
You train every day.
Every day I'm doing something, like.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. See, when you get to about 20, when you're training every day, and like, your body is probably going to feel a wee bit more wore down. But
I'm going to have to focus on like the recovery side more.
Just because you've been training, but for like this for years, but you'll be more adjusted to it, you know what I mean? But because your body's growing, then when you're getting more muscles, like a while back, you were having calf pain, stuff. That's like right, that. Just stuff like that there, you know what I mean? It can be just general things or
wee small stuff, and then they build up, and then it comes a problem.
It gets niggly in over the years, and it just fucking gets to you, man. It gets to you, big time. Like stupid ones. I used to get my ankles and all. To your ankle. The worst. Did you ever roll your ankle before?
Oh, it's horrible.
Oh, rolling your ankle's the worst. And they say it's to do with your hips, your ankle. If your ankle keeps rolling, your hips aren't in line and they're not as good as they should be.
If the angle of your ankle is affected by your hips, something like that.
You see too, like if you stand like with your head like just off a centre line, your whole body can be off balance and all. So just be small things like that there. Like picture you're in the middle of a fucking fight or just training with somebody and you throw like a punch or something, your whole body's off centre and your ankle just turns. Like, you know, in McGregor. You know what I mean? Everybody's saying, oh, he kicked this and he kicked that and he kicked that, and his ankle just blew. That's what happened.
Did you see the X-ray?
No.
So that clean snap. It was horrible.
His ankle's like, I've seen that happen to loads of people, but like the way the ankle rolls, but their foot doesn't snap. Like, but you've seen that.
You see like the flap of
the
it.
The roll. Like, it even happened to me in the gym the other day. Fun bar was on me, throw a double kick and I threw a kick, and when I landed that same foot, they threw the kick off. I landed on the top of my foot, my whole foot just went like sideways, and I'm telling you, and you started crying.
Oh, so that's some serious pain.
I was slagging McGregor all week, guys. How many kink on, I just sitting there in the gym and nearly crying, man. I was fucking no, my ankle. I was just sitting there, get there. I was all per McGregor, like, I mean, cause he got his fucking leg snapped right off.
Right off.
That must have been painful there. Could you ever imagine dealing with an injury like that?
No, it'd be hard to come back from, like. It really would be.
You reckon?
Be tough, like.
I know, lad, you get the strength back and the confidence too.
Just like constantly growing it bit by bit, like.
Like what we were saying, like fighting's a lot to do with, you know, being like mentally strong and whatnot. Picture like trying to get that mental fortitude back.
Because obviously like everything's taken away from me for however long.
Like, you have to sit still.
Like a lot of MMA fighters love their sport. Like I love doing MMA, and just having that taken away from me for say 6 months, it'd be tough in the head. Like
it's hard. Hey, seeing like October when my granny passed there, I partially tore my meniscus. And I couldn't even fucking do anything for like 5 months, lad. So from like October up to about February, I was just fucking, I couldn't move, lad. I couldn't even straighten my leg and all. I couldn't even, my leg was stuck like that there. It was stuck like that, and every time I tried to straighten it, there was just like the super wobbles. I couldn't do nothing and all. And then eventually it came back to itself. I just like healing up with rehab and all, and fucking going to a physiotherapist and whatnot. And when it came back to itself, I was able to go, but my hip got a lot of problems then too, and my thigh. See, because I couldn't straighten my leg, I could still walk, but my leg couldn't be straightened. And because when your ACL or your meniscus blows, your thigh starts to overcompensate for your knee, and so it does. So you can still put pressure on, you know what I mean?
Like the
joint nearly, but the joint's not holding it anymore. It's like your thigh. Your thigh's keeping it up now. And my thigh, like I had to do a lot of work on my thigh to get my thigh like fucking, like the physiotherapist had to like release
the tension,
like proper untighten my thigh, because for so many months I was
so much pressure
walking around, and my left leg too, she had to do a lot to my left leg too. The leg was actually standing.
Put more weight on that.
So much weight getting put in that leg, so much overcompensation, and my other leg and was getting it tight too, because any bit of weight that got put on that there was getting it tight then through the thigh and all. It's just not what you want to be doing out for that long there.
Be horrible, like.
No, lad, it's definitely not. A couple of months sitting still, man. You're just like, what the fuck even is the point of life?
True.
Like, Jesus, man, that's just bad, hey. Per McGregor.
Per Conor, hey.
That's our man there.
I see, speaking of that, actually, he's paying for the whole Team Ireland to go out to Bulgaria, so.
Oh, exactly, like the big man, like, you know what I mean? He's
paying it for it, like,
he is the
fair
big
play
man.
to him.
That's a lay, man. Like, as much as fucking everybody wants to hit on him and all, because he's slabbering, it's not. He's still McGregor, like, you know.
He's helping us out big time, like, that's a lot of pressure taken off us.
Fuck, man, that's how this world that he's doing that there. He's helping the country.
Something like 60 grand he's paying. It's absolutely nothing to him, but it's a lot of money, like.
No way, that's nothing to him. He wipe his whole with 60 grand.
True.
That shit easy. What age do you think you'll turn pro, man? Do you think you'll turn pro?
I do, yeah. Like, that's like I want to fight. I want to fight for the rest of my life, like fighting, coaching. I love to do it, like, and I want to. So I have 100% intentions.
What's the plan? Do you want to fight then coach, or do you want to fight and coach while fighting?
I want to coach after, because obviously I want to when I'm fighting, I want to fight, like, I want to give me all to it. But obviously, like, my dad's from Barcelona, so I have family in Spain, and like in school now I'm going to my A-levels, and I love languages. I'm doing French and Spanish A-level, and before I turn pro, I want to take a few years out and go out there and learn the language, spend time with my family, like. So I think when I'm done school, I'll take 1-2 years out, move to Barcelona, live with my grandparents, learn Spanish, and then I want to move to France as well and learn French. Then after that, that's when I'm coming home, and I'm obviously still going to be training out there, like. But after that, that's when I'm coming home, and I want to turn pro then.
Sounds amazing there, man. Hey, that's a great plan. So you're only 16 now, and you're finishing up school now, aren't you?
I've 2 more years left.
You're going on the 6 year.
I'm going on the A-levels, yeah.
So what age will you be in?
I'll be 18 when I'm done at my A-levels.
So you reckon you won't go pro till you're about 23, 24?
I don't want to rush it either, because I mean,
you want to be ready too.
Exactly.
Obviously.
I want to have like the technical ability and have the strength, have the fitness. Like,
no, I like the concept of you being about 23, 24, but because you're not the biggest kid, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
You are like sort of light and lean, so I like I was saying, when you come 20 and that's when you start to grow into your man body.
Once I'm 20, I have a few years to figure out, right, how big am I, what weight will I be fighting at? I have time to figure it out.
Because you don't really know yet.
Exactly. I could be cutting. Like say I turn pro when I'm 20 and I'm cutting mad weight to get the a weight class, and then I realise a few years like that really like deteriorated my body. I'm better waiting a few years and find that out myself, like.
100%, man. And too, when you get to like, I like this whole concept of you going pro too at that age, because you're not going to take too much head trauma. I've always said this about people. People say think it's great to fight from when you're younger and all, like all these Thai people. You see a lot with Thai fighters as well.
They get a lot of damage.
Their careers don't last long because
same with boxers as well, you know.
Exactly, a lot of boxers and Thai fighters, they start fighting so young, and like the way amateur loads headshots the whole way through, and they have 300, 400 competitive bouts. Obviously, their skill level and whatnot is going to be a lot higher than somebody that's only had 30 or 40 bouts. But
shows their brain damage.
Their bodies, like, what if you got an x-ray of this kid's brain now and you're going to put him in a professional ring where like the fighting's so much different in a professional ring
than
an amateur ring. Like the tactics and all get used, like the things people will do just to hurt you. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Like
you see some I don't know who it was, but I've seen some old boxer got hand wraps had concrete on them. Whenever he started to sweat, they started to harden.
I think it was Antonio Margarita.
Something like that.
Fuck, and like people would do anything, man. They'll do anything, and especially in an MMA cage too. Especially in an MMA cage, so you definitely want to be ready for that. There,
it's true.
You definitely.
And like even at 23 or 24, it still gives me like over 10 years. I mean, obviously it depends on the weight class, man, because speed's more important than the lower weight classes. But I mean, DC was 40, and he was fighting for UFC titles. Exactly, like, man. I'm still going to have a good few years. I can have say 3-4 years to fight, build a record, fighting Cage Warriors, win the title. Then that's when I get on the UFC, and then have a good run. That's same with my prime. I get on the UFC 28. It's 4 years I have, 5 years. I'm in my prime and I get a good run in the UFC.
I mean, you don't need to be on the UFC for too long if you think about it, really, because that's like the ending of your career. Like that's when you put a stamp on your career. You know what I mean?
Stamp on your legacy.
You do everything up until you get to the UFC. Then boom, once you get to the UFC, and that's when you are the man. All eyes are on you. Like.
It's true,
all eyes are on you then. So like what you said, you've only got about, like, your window in the UFC small. You only have about 5 years before people start giving a fuck about you too. It's not like everybody's just going to give a fuck about you forever. You know what I'm saying? Like McGregor's one of the only fighters that people still give a fuck about to this day.
He's a big star. Like,
been around that long. I think about the many other big stars that's been on the sport that hadn't lasted as long as him.
It's true. A lot of people come and go really quick. Like,
they definitely do, or they just don't fight often because they know.
They don't want to do it. That's an idea that I kind of like as well, like especially in the UFC, taking a lot of time between fights and actually learning, because obviously like fight camp you improve incredibly, but to me fight camp is like you're getting ready like fitness and mentally, and you're getting strong, but they actually like take time and learn the technical side of it. I like the idea of like having a good bit of time between fights. When I'm pro, like now I don't care, I'll get on every weekend if I can, like.
You definitely, when you're fighting at that level, you definitely want to make the right adjustments, because if you're fighting a grappler, you definitely need to have the right game plan to grapple. Or you're fighting a striker, you need to know how to deal with him. You know his tendencies, and does he rhythm step, does he do certain things?
Exactly, does he have wee tiny tails, like?
I know, so you can exploit it, because MMA can get you, like a fight can change in the click of a second, man. Just like that, like for you or for him. Like he could throw a punch and fucking miss, fall down, give his back in a turtle, and you fucking choke him, just boom, that's it, over. He could swing a punch and knock you clean out, just one slap. Like, you don't know what's going to happen.
You can make one mistake and it's over, like.
Exactly, so you better be prepared for all scenarios.
It's a fact.
Cause you see a lot of people just go out there and they just wing it and
there's so many crazy knockouts as well that happen. They happen so quick, like you don't expect them.
It's a wild sport, man. It is a wild sport. Like
that's why I love it.
Anybody from the outside world that just knows anything about does MMA or watches it sorta know briefly, like go to your friend's house, you watch the UFC, they're just like, why do these people even do this? Like
I know it's crazy.
They're like, how do these boys even watch this and all? They're like, this is
MMA is
one
of the only sport that no matter what happens, it could be say it's a title fight, it could be 24 minutes in the title fight, there's still a chance that in that title fight the person that's losing could knock him out in a blink of an eye. Like
she be fucking Misha Tate when she choked out Holly Holm years ago, man. Holly Holm was like 5 rounds up and she got choked out in like the last minute against Misha Tate.
Crazy.
I went mad at it. I bet on Holly Holm and all. They won the fight by decision. I knew she was going to win the fight. Lad, I swear, I fucked me phone across the room and all. I was going mad. This is like 2016 or 17. Just back in McGregor era. Like, I mean, I was up with all my friends and all watching it. I was going mad. I was even more raging just that Misha Tate won. I was like, she's going to be getting battered for 24 minutes and still won the fight. Like,
although that was horrible for you, like, it's such. That's what's good about MMA.
Looking back on it now, like, I'm like, fair play to her because she took that beating for 24 minutes, you know what I mean? She still came out a champion at the end of it. So that's what the sport's made of. Like, it's made of just animals. Absolute animals. Do you use any supplements, man?
Well, actually, see for the awards, I have a boy doing all my strength and conditioning, Ben Bradshaw. He's helped me out a lot, like all my strength and conditioning, all my nutrition stuff. So obviously I'm taking my vitamins just for my general health. Like, I think health is really important. I take my vitamins anyways, but I'll be taking protein. I take protein and porridge. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. And protein,
that's
creatine.
The best place to use it, your protein.
I love it. I see.
What kind of protein are you using?
Chocolate brownie.
Using whey, is it?
Whey protein.
What kind of whey is it? Do you know? Is it isolate or?
No, I do have isolate, but I don't like it as much. You know, I just find that really weird. But with the normal whey, I mix it with my porridge, and it makes the porridge far nicer, like, and I enjoy that, like, so. Been having that a lot, like.
It's really convenient to you being able to do that. No mix the powder with stuff.
That's a fact,
because a lot of people don't like to drink the
smoothies.
See, if you are going to drink a smoothie, man, one banana. Hey, I'm telling you. Full banana.
I have 2 bananas here, porridge, protein, bananas.
See, if you're going to make a wee smoothie, just banana, fucking wee bit of water, wee bit of fucking protein, bit of creatine, just bam.
Beautiful.
The banana makes it like thick enough where it doesn't taste like water anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like the banana, it gives it a wee banana chocolate taste. I have the same too out there, chocolate brownie downstairs. So
it's lovely.
I use that there with a banana. I think it's beautiful. I think it's important to use just like eventually they start using the supplements, like especially if you want to train all the time.
It helps like a crazy amount with recovery as well. Like it really does. You don't know this until you start taking it. It's a fact. Like I've gotten far more leaner in this camp. Like before, like I had some muscle, but now like I'm at a far better weight with far more muscle, and I feel far better. Like,
I was about to say, you'll see the lean and the leanness in your body, but you'll still nearly feel like you'll still be like nearly the same. You know what I mean? When the muscle starts coming on, it's weird. It's like when I was chatting, who was it? I was chatting a while back. Oh Jesus, you look like you're losing a lot of weight now, but I was for a while. But like I went from I was walking around about 74, 75 kg. Then I went down to 68 kg because I was training like fuck. But then I started going from 68 to 72, and I was like, no, just fluctuate between
going in between.
So if I did a hard training session, I'd be 68, and when I sleep, I wake up 72. You know what I mean? So that's what was like my weight, but I was like 75, 76, just sort of just around there anyway, and then I sort of got it down there, and like ever since I got down to there, and I started to notice that I stopped like fluctuating between the both, and I started to stay around 70 and 72, but I was putting on more muscle because I was using the protein, the creatine, and when you're putting on the muscle, it's like, I don't know, you can feel it, like, you know what I mean? You can just feel yourself getting stronger and all.
Even now, like,
but it's like a slow process. It doesn't just happen overnight. Do you know what I mean?
The past few years, obviously, like say last year, I was one of the smallest in Evolve, but now like I'm up at that size now. Like, see, we Dylan Dory now. Like he's smaller than me now. You wouldn't think it, but he's lighter than me. Like,
serious?
He walks about fly like, and I'm 60 now.
Dylan's strong too.
Dylan is unbelievable. His striking is crazy. Absolutely unreal.
He's so good. I mean, the first time I ever sparred with him, I was looking at him,
His
through a jab,
class,
man, through a jab, and nobody's ever fucking done this to me ever. Like, nobody's ever, like, through a jab, and before the jab even came out, he, like, sidestepping through a right hand over the top, man. And I remember, like, not even, like, getting the jab fully out, and I got hit in the chin, man, with a right hand straight away, and I didn't see it. I didn't, like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, what the fuck?
That one's unbelievable.
Made me pure tentative him, man, for ages afterwards when I would spar him. I was
because he moves so well, he moves so quick, like.
But he knows
you make one mistake and you're done, like.
He knows how to beat you and all too. He knows how to, like, let you throw strikes and check hook.
And he knows how to fight bigger people as well.
That's what I'm saying.
If you ever watch him, like, say, you ever watch him with someone 20 kilos heavier, he knows what he's doing, like.
Does he not, man? He knows he takes a D too when you're bigger. That's what's fucking annoying though. He can't take a D when you're bigger. See the last time I sparred him, you see the way he was taking me, man, at the end of the round. It was all good for a fucking wee round at the end of the round, man. I can still remember it now, man, the back of my head. It was 1, 2, 3, 4 head kick outside, 1, 2, 3, 4 head kick outside, man. I was blocking head kicks both sides and all. He was just throwing hands, man, by heavy punches. And what'd you say? What's he weigh?
He walks around like 57 kilos.
For 57 kilos, man, I was saying like 72, man, and he was just fucking blasting head kicks off my arms and all, man, fucking punches and all, and he was like
absolutely
moving
crazy,
me, like, what the fuck?
Unreal.
It was actually like you can feel it. But he's been doing fucking boxing too.
Yeah, he's been doing boxing for years. Like,
been doing boxing from no time. I always say about boxers, like, they might be one dimensional, but their
dimension is so high level. Like,
they're like, even if you were doing it as an amateur or not,
that's what's lethal now. Like, Dylan isn't one dimensional. Like, he's an unreal grappler, unreal wrestler.
But his boxing's still up there too.
Exactly.
Like, it's like MMA boxing he has now.
He's adapted it now to MMA.
It's a whole different ball game. It's beautiful to see. The way he mixes up a leg kicks and all that.
It's true, yeah.
And big time. Puts a hands and the kicks together. Dylan, he went to the IMMAFS too, didn't he, last year? He
went to the adult IMMAFS in Bahrain. See what's actually mad about Dylan, right? He's never, I think he was like Scotland, England, but other than that, he's never been out of Ireland. And they go from never being out, he didn't have a passport to go to Bahrain, like. You had to get a passport sorted to go. His first experience ever like out to Bahrain, they fight at the Worlds. How crazy is that?
That's mad. And then they go fight adults too, didn't they?
I know why. Unbelievable, like.
That's mad. What age is Dylan? He's only like a year or two younger than me, Dylan's a year younger than me, Shout out to Dylan Doherty, another MMA fighter, trains us. He's fucking.
You must get him on the podcast,
I'm definitely going to get him on too, because he was like one of the first MMA fighters I knew in Derry. Like, I always followed Dylan too when I used to box 2 years ago. I always kept an eye on him because I knew he was running about here, because he's from Gilead too, he's around here. I always seen him, and he was like wee Dylan. He used to have long hair and all. See, when he was younger, he had long hair and all. So he was actually wee Dylan. That's how you know him as wee Dylan.
He's small enough now, like.
But then he's fucking big enough now, actually. Every time I see him too, he can't getting bigger too.
It's true,
Like, he's got a big back on him and all too.
He does,
Every time I grapple with him, it doesn't make me feel like he's fucking.
You don't know he's fly, like. You won't tell.
He feels like he's about 70 kg. He actually does. See, when he gets on top, man passes on the half guard, or he passes on the side control, starts on the arm triangle, he feels like a man on top, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like a fucking somebody that light there. But that just goes to show technique.
Technique is better than everything.
Technique is king.
Fact.
We'll wrap this up soon anyway, because we're on that 2 hour mark here.
Jesus.
I know, man. Any temptations to drink and party, or are you completely focused for your martial arts?
Absolutely zero. No. Honestly, I've no desire for it at all.
That's what somebody was saying to me the other day when I was saying I was going to get you on. They were like, but it's a pity you want to drink and smoke and all. He's all, no.
Absolutely zero.
Like, it doesn't.
Like, I think we Derry, like, it happens to a lot of people. Like, there's a wild, like, small town mentality in Derry. Like, wise up, you're not going to go anywhere from Derry. Like, catch yourself on.
Get the fuck.
Exactly.
That's why I have this podcast.
Exactly, man.
Fuck everybody else.
Like, we know that, but a lot of people from Derry are like that, and a lot of people get sucked on that. Like, see my age. See what I am now. This is the age where a lot of people fall away from sport and they get on and start drinking and smoking. Like, do you know what I mean?
That was like my case with me. See, when I was I used to do boxing when I was younger. That's how I know Dylan too, from that boxing club up there. St. Joe's Boxing Club. I used to do boxing, and when I was like leaving boxing, he was like coming into boxing, so he was, and he got really good at boxing, amateur competing and all, and that's when I left boxing, just about when he was like competing and doing all that there. So I left boxing, stopped doing boxing for a few years. Then Jordan took me to kickboxing once, up at town at the top ring. Was come up to kickboxing. I was only about fucking 12 or 13. I was sweet, or whatever. Went up to kickboxing. I pure enjoyed it. Like coaches and all had me fucking purple. Like I was proper purple at the end of that class. I couldn't even breathe and all, but I was like giving it me all, and the coaches were like, "You've obviously trained before." Like it was all because like no, you were trying your hardest, like because it was just like that's from boxing. No, just trying to fucking just no not give up and all. Just do what you can to the end of class and leave. You know what I mean? Come back, whatever. And I left kickboxing then because I don't know. I just left it. And my other friend Leon McLaughlin. Do you know Leon?
No,
he knows your Mark. Like he went to school with your Mark.
Oh, I think I do actually.
He used to compete in K1 2 years ago, and he did K1, whatnot, and he loved K1. Fucking, he's a good street fighter and all, whatever. And he was on to me, come to K1. And he's just all, sweet, whatever. Went down, did the fucking few classes in K1, and he taught me how to throw a leg kick. And this was like a journey for me, man, in the martial arts. Yeah, I'll tell you.
That was the start of it.
This was like the old man. This is a different one. Like he taught me how to throw a leg kick, and I was throwing it. And he's like, "What the fuck's that there?" And all, like, fucking hit me a leg kick. And I'm like, hit them and all. And he's like, "Lad." He's just laughing. Like he was just laughing. Like and he was like, "You can throw a punch and all," because we were holding the pads and all. He was like, "You done a part of boxing. You can obviously throw a punch. Like anybody can throw a punch." But he was like, that saw as a pussy leg kick there, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, and he was hold that pad there, and I held the pad to my leg, man. He kicked me one leg kick, and I back me knuckles, hit my leg, dead leg straight away, man.
What?
He was just, that's how you know what's a proper leg kick, if your knuckles are hitting the back of your leg. Sweet. So, and then we come down to kickboxing more and more in, and fucking eventually he had me fucking kicking like that, you know what I mean? After about fucking 3 or 4 weeks, I was fucking just blasting back leg kicks, no, rap, body kicks and head kicks and all. And eventually he says, I remember him turning around to me, he was like, "You can fucking finally throw a kick and all. You were kicking like a pussy ages ago and all." And that was just like did then, man. From doing K1 and watching fucking UFC and all, and like doing K1, I went down and trained me a few MMA gyms, and I got battered by MMA fighters, man. I was like the next one.
That's completely different. Like,
yeah, exactly.
That really is.
K1's like no standing
and bang, like
bang. He does some good skills to be learned from it, but there's not enough lateral movement in K1.
If you come on the MMA with a K1 style, you'll get smashed, like.
Exactly.
But you can go on the K1 with the MMA style.
K1 versus an MMA style, and K1 will work against the judges' favour, like 100%.
That's true, yeah.
Because the judges don't want to see somebody who's moving; they want to see forward, advancing, pressure.
Even though they might have won the fight, they might have got the cleaner strikes. That's not the way K1's judged.
That's it's more power.
Exactly.
Like
who's coming forward,
walking people down, who's controlling the ring, and it's not the right way, man. I've seen how many times I don't like kickboxing now. I got a busted noses and all that.
I don't like that at all.
Bloody noses and stuff like that there. And when
I don't want any more brain damage. Like
I took some bad busted noses, lad, and fucking kicked to the head and all, and fucking K1, hey, and I enjoyed it, man. It was good fun, and it got me prepared for MMA. Like I see what you were saying. Like a lot of people don't start sport at this age; they give up. Well, I was about 16, 17 when I started doing K1, and I was doing it since I was about fucking 14, so I was doing it for about 3 or 4 years, and I really loved it, man. It was amazing. Hey, it was like one of the best things I ever did, like just sparring, just in there fighting me people and
scrapping,
just doing whatever. And I was getting ready for a competition, and I got kicked out of school, so my ma maybe moved to Ballymena. And when I went to Ballymena, I was up in Ballymena, and I was just up here for about a year or two. I don't know what the fuck I wanted to do. I was just in limbo, man. I was actually in limbo. And I came back and ended up having fucking meeting a girl, and I was going with a girl for like 2 years. I ended up having a wine to her, and I was like, Jesus, here we go, hey. And I had a wine, no, whatever, man. I was fucking doing my music and all, DJing. I was doing a pile of shit at one time, but like, fighting was always like in the back of my mind. It was like something always, you know what I mean?
You have a passion for, like,
you
enjoy.
I stopped doing kickboxing, and I love kickboxing too much, man. You don't understand how much I didn't, like, when I was in there fucking just ripping leg kicks and all,
you get the anger out, like,
I loved it, man, too much, hey. Then that's when I fucking, after about a year going with that girl, we ended up moving out to a house in the waterside now. And when I moved to that house in the waterside, then I was like, right, I'm going to start fucking training again flat. And I was only about 17 or 18 at the time, and I text Jason then. I was all, "Do you mind if I come down now? Blah blah blah, whatever." And he was all, I would fucking come down now. No, I came down. And I was watching loads of UFC at the time. And I was fucking, I remember, like, my first class, I was like, fucking, there was in a beginner's class, I was fucking boys and guillotines and all, fucking triangle chokes and rear naked chokes. And Jason was just like shaking his head, like, I mean, like, you guys done this before.
It's mad what you learn, like, from.
It was like, you guys done this before, haven't you know? And I was like, I knew how to do, but some submissions, know, from Japanese jiu-jitsu, like, what you were on about too, know, from when I was a Wayne. So I was like, whatever. And I went on the sparring class in to at the very start, and he put me on me Christie, hey.
I actually remember that night, you know.
I got dropped. You remember that? I was fucking like, I was like a turning point there. I was like, stop acting a dick, man. I was like, I'll put my hands up now, man. I tried to fucking take it to Christie at night time, and he just folded me in half, and with ease, man, with ease. You know what I mean? With just pure patience and just what the fuck, like, he was just laughing at me, man, pretty much, like, you know what I mean? Christie was just chilling, man. Christie was chilling, and I'm sitting here trying to act like a fucking, I'm good at this shit now, man.
And he's
been doing this for years, you know what I mean?
There was a day in Belfast, right? We took our car road up the FAI for a wee in-house, and Christie was fighting, and there was this, whoever was fighting, like, they found out he was fighting, like, this big man, like, Christie was only, like, 18, 19, and, like, like, he looks old now, but, like, there was this, he was fighting a man, like, pure muscly, and before the fight, like, your man was pure staring him out, like, pure, like, getting pumped up, getting psyched, like, exactly, getting angry, like, right, whatever, they walked out, they got the cage, Christie, your man took his top off, pure muscly, like, pure erupt, Christie took his top off, whatever, and, like, it looked like a child compared to him.
Oh, he's skinny. Because Christie used to be pure skinny. Not that he's not skinny now, but he's
skinny,
like
fat.
He's like a big man body now.
He's like, he's big now.
Like.
But right, see, they start fighting, whatever, right? He caught him a few times, like, he clipped him well, and he threw a head kick, and he knocked, he rocked him, he knocked him out. Simon Clark was there. Simon went mad, started shouting, like, go on, Christie. But see, in the rules meeting, they said no head kicks. But we thought, oh no, that can't be right, because they said it during, they were talking about the grappling, so we thought, head kicks during grappling, fair enough. Because we spar with head kicks, like, we spar all the time with head kicks.
Not,
so he threw a head kick, like, stunned the boy, like, as well, no, he knocked him out, like, he went flat. He did, like, he went flat, like, and the ref was all, no, pure loud, and everything went quiet. Absolutely everything went quiet. And Chris just walked about like, oh shit, what did I do? Because
no, he was acting a mouth and all that. Fuck off, that's what he gets.
It was amazing.
Staring me out like that there.
It was amazing.
Fuck off, oh well, that's a stall victory on Christie's behalf here. You know what I mean?
It was
fuck
classic.
That referee, fuck that there. What did you say it was, FAA? Fuck FAA, man. Christie should be taking that victory here home. Spark that boy out. He shouldn't be looking at Christie like that. You look at that man funny, I'll put you down, hey, 100%, like.
Christie's unreal, hey.
Like, that's what I was saying, man. You know, that first time sparring home, I was like, fucking, it was rhythm stepping, I kept rhythm stepping, and like, I had him a big body kick. We were just going back and forth, and I had him a big body kick, like a hard body kick, and it was like, you know, when you land a hard body kick, you can just feel it. And he just sort of looked at me and shook his head, like, it was like, that was a hard body kick, like, and like, I did like the same thing, like, did a feint, but as I feinted, he just fucking push kicked me, man, right in the solar plexus, hey. And it just, I've never got folded in half like a deck chair in my life, man, I swear, you know, remember the sound it? No, I was like, I hit the floor, man, the whole gym went silent.
That onesie, like, it takes everything out of you.
Fucking silent, man, everybody just turned around and looked at me. I remember looking on the floor, could see everybody staring at me, but I couldn't talk or nothing. I was like,
the pure tightens you up, like, you can't do anything.
Over and I was like, you sweet, take you a wee round off spar, no, I don't know, oh good, no, just jump back in straight, hey. Of
course.
I was like, fuck, I'm push kicks, but I was like, keep them away from me, hey. I was like, man, I always remember, man, to the day I die, hey, I swear to God, like, if I ever became a good fighter or something, like, I always hold Chris to that one, man. He fucked me up that day. Like, it was with a body shot too, like
body shots are unreal. Like, see,
sure, man.
Like, we headshots, you can catch someone and knock them out, but when you drop someone with a body shot, it's technical. Like, you set it up and you hit them well.
And it wasn't even like he put any effort in it. They just caught me coming in, you know what I mean? Just on the solar plex, boom, and every time I spar with Christie, you know, he sort of lands that same kick with me all the time, but it doesn't hurt as much when you're like standing there, you know what I mean? If you come forward,
when you come on, it puts that pressure on there.
If you come forward, he just jabs it on the man, nearly makes you want to be sick, man. Shout out to big Christie Hassan too, the man, true. Hey, what a fucking man he is. He's over in Liverpool now too and training, isn't he? Or no, he's back now.
He's back now, he's back now.
Does he not too? But before we finish it up, what's your general life goals like? What do you like? what's your goals for life? What do you feel
for life or for MMA?
Just for life in general, man.
I want to coach. Like, obviously, I want to fight. Like, I want to have a good career.
Fighter, you want to be a coach?
I want to coach. Like, I want to influence people with martial arts, because obviously, like, it's made my life 100 times better. I absolutely love it, like, and I want to give that to people. I want to give the community that stuff as well. Like,
you definitely are the right person for
it. I want to build a massive gym in Derry. I want to build an absolutely massive gym.
Like, have like the old fucking American top team in Derry.
Team Evolve.
That'd be lethal there, but man, because that's what the North doesn't really have, like, super team.
Exactly,
like that.
The North doesn't have something like a big massive facility.
The way we have to go elsewhere, they like do wrestling and all. Like we don't have to. We can wrestle and evolve, but if you want,
I want to have like a proper high level facility in Derry that's putting out champions.
That's what I'm saying. That'd be amazing. Like the way we would go to Coleraine to wrestle. Like I was saying, we don't have to. We could wrestle and evolve, but the level's so much higher going up to Coleraine to wrestle. Whereas, but I was all in the one place in Derry where everybody doesn't have to go anywhere, but at the same time there's always people that's going to have to travel, like, because there's people down south that train and Evolve, and there's people training everywhere in Limavady,
exactly.
Like most of the people training Evolve aren't even from
I'm one of the only people, like, I walk to Evolve. I live 10 minutes away, like,
same, man. So Christy and Dallin, but then like the other handful of people, like, they're all from surrounding
they're from the surrounding areas, like,
around mad places, like, so. But hopefully anyway, man, that you could do get another gym back here, like.
And obviously I have my goals for fighting. Like, I want to be the best in the world, best ever. I've big goals, like.
That's one anyway, man. The best
big
ever.
Goals.
You want to be the best ever. Like, ever
of all time.
Hey man, that's takes balls anyway to say it out loud. Like, I was talking to somebody the other day and they were asking me about you now, so I was probably going to be one of the first boys in Derry I see, like, in the UFC, and see when I said it out loud to you, I was all, it's mad now I think about that, like. I was like, because I never really thought people around here would have the UFC, but it definitely is possible.
I know it's possible, like, 100%.
There's good fighters in our town, like, even fighters that ain't at our gym, like that fight that's coming up now between fucking Paddy Doran and fucking Sean Devine. That's a good
very good fight.
They're two top amateurs, like, at 135, and you know what I mean. I know Sean's not with our team, but he's still a good fighter.
He is, and obviously Paddy is. We're teammates with him. Like, he's unbelievable.
Exactly, and it's the same too. Blaine's fighting soon too.
That's right. Blaine's fighting in
a really good fighter.
He's fighting cage conflict.
I've watched him kickbox for years, and like even my auntie, my auntie knows him too. She was on the day saying about him fighting and all too, because my auntie used to train me. Is it his dad? Is it Sean coach?
I think it's his uncle.
I'm not 100% sure. I couldn't tell you. Like, I don't know Blaine too well, but I've watched him fight. You know what I mean, for years and all. He's
just a talent in there in general. Like,
there's plenty of good fighters about. So hopefully, anyway, that we can get a big super gym, or there'll be something like. There's a big pool of MMA fighters that come out of this city. You know what I mean?
True, yeah. It will happen. Like,
they can have like a
give it time and it will happen, because there's a lot of talent.
There's a lot.
When the first, like, it happened with McGregor, just Irish MMA in general. As soon as McGregor got there, look how many people from Ireland got pushed through.
The many people, exactly. Like,
it's gonna be the same for Derry. Like,
boxing, nearly got dropped on his head, just, man.
MMA took a massive rise, like,
because it was always boxing, judo. It was boxing, judo. What else? I can't even think. Boxing and judo. Like,
judo was always pretty big.
What else was big in Ireland? Like, apart from football,
obviously Gaelic and stuff. Like,
I've football and rugby, but like, I'm on with combat sports. There hasn't really been any, like, other than boxing and judo.
Kickboxers,
like, there's been world champion kickboxers, a lot of world champion Irish kickboxers, but it's not like a big sport, you know. Like, it's not as big as
boxing. Like, like, there's a lot of Irish boxers, like McCollum, all them ones, like.
What do you call your man too? Steve Collins, I think it was, about bit Eubank Junior, Eubank Senior years ago. One of the first Irish world champions back in. He was something like 37-0 or something like that, retired and all. He's meant to be, I think he's got one loss or something. He's ranked like the #1 best Irish boxer ever. Nobody ever talks about him, but it's, I don't know, man. It's a crazy country we live in. It's fucking conflicted country, just.
It's a fact.
But, what does your team, man, mean to you? Evolve?
Team Evolve.
Just before
absolutely everything, man.
Everything.
I've been here since day one, like 10 years this November, like.
It's mad,
like,
man.
you know yourself what it's like in there. It's absolutely unbelievable vibe.
Is it not, man?
It's
like a family.
Honestly,
it actually is like a family, man. And it's
like,
it's like a family until it's go time, you know what I mean? And there's somebody trying to rip your fucking head clean off your shoulders.
That's what makes it a family, like, being in those experiences with people. That's what brings you close together.
Stop, man.
Being in the trenches, like, putting the work in.
Some of the worst times in my life in that gym, man. Like,
it's a fact, man.
I've got put into some bad positions, like, you know what I mean?
But, like, see, with situations like that, I know for a fact I've made a lot of friends and evolved that I'll know for the rest of my life. Like, I will.
Like me, that's how I
exactly,
know
man.
That's how you're on this podcast. That's
exactly
the same with myself too. It's boys like fucking Tony Harkin, though. I'm good mates with
Tony's
Tony
now,
you know.
I've been training. See, for this camp, like I've been training with Tony a lot.
Tony's really good, man.
Up in the mornings, up in the gym, out running. I was out running with him this morning, so
Tony's really good, man.
Some triangles,
his jiu-jitsu's crafty, man. Like, I roll with him all the time, and we're always laughing when we're rolling, because I've rolled with him that many times. You know when they say, like, you roll with somebody so many times, you know what they're going to do, and it's not.
You literally
I
do,
don't know what most of my training partners in the gym's going to do, because they're always trying to do different shit, but Tony, I know what he's fucking trying to do.
But he's so good with him. He gets you with it anyways.
You know what I mean? You know he's trying to do it, no? He's just sitting there, okay. Every time he tries to do the clump on me, man, tries to do the clump, and I try passing the half guard, but he's fucking overhooking me and all, man, just like stealing my arm. I always just laugh. I'm like, you're not triangling me today. I was just trying to stack him and all. Like, get off me and all. He was just sitting laughing because he knows, you know what I mean? He knows I know.
Exactly.
It's what it was like, but it's if he can get you or not. And now, like, even Tony himself, he's working on his triangles from different positions.
Exactly, man. That's his thing. Like, triangles are his thing. Very good with him.
He's a crafty boy. So he is. He's really good bottom position. But see what's getting dangerous about Tony now is his top position. He's starting to get good at wrestling and get good on top.
He's up on Saturdays, Wilson Coleraine, like we tea.
Because every time I haven't been able to get up on Saturdays, is fucking like, because I have a weigh-in from Friday to Sunday nearly every weekend. I haven't been able to get up, so every time I would come down and train me Tony in, he would always just fucking, he was just like, you just feel his wrestling, man. He's shitting double legs now, and every time after every week, man, he's just fucking driving.
What's going on here?
Turning the corner and all, man, sprawling. He's going on there single leg again, no coming up behind me and all, low singles and all. Like, what the fuck? He's chaining these takedowns, and when he gets on top, man, he's getting heavy and all. But that's
even those triangles from Mount, like,
man, that's
crazy.
That's a testament to fucking all the work boys are putting on, but too, because it's the same with like wee Cameron and all too. Cameron, shout out to Cameron, hey, bit me here in that fucking competition. He triangled me in the competition too. He triangle armbar me. I was refusing to tap that triangle, man. I wasn't tapping that triangle.
Because like, if you go out with a triangle,
I wasn't even going to go out there. I just wasn't tapping.
Fair enough.
I just wasn't going to tap that one, man. I was just
stubborn.
I was going to let his legs burn or something. You know what I mean? But then he got an armbar between under his armpit. If he would have like tried to just fucking pull my arm, I would not tap that either. But see, because I got it under his armpit, I was all, keep it off me now. You walker, hey. Because they had a triangle, but it was pure square. No, he wasn't like at an angle, so I was like breathing and all. It was sweet. But then when he got the arm in, I was like, get the fuck off me, you wee bastard, hey. Got me good too, so he did. He had to go out against that fucking boy, bit Bullface. Unlucky. Shout out to big Brad McSven, isn't it, or something like that?
Something like that.
He's a good grappler, so is he? I had to watch him compete there a couple of months ago, and when I found out I was competing against him, I was like, oh, fucking lethal. Here we go, hey, that's why he's good.
Hey.
I know, yeah, here we go. He's gonna be a ride here. And I was right, like, because he was strong as a bull, hey. He was. Caught him in a triangle, man, he just fucking sat back out it, but I was like trying to come up on mount, and when I was like trying to come up on mount, man, he just fucking, big head and shoulders, just busted out that triangle, man, just posted off me, lifted me up in the air, and all bench press me. I was like, oh, what the fuck?
What's going on here, hey?
Big strong boy, hey. That's the game, man. That's the game we play, hey.
That's true.
It's been great talking to you anyway.
Thanks for having me on, hey. I do really appreciate it.
I'll definitely get you on anyway after the fucking IMMAFS and let everybody know how it went anyway. And I'll
show everyone my gold medal.
That's the confidence we need there, lad. And I'll definitely give you a shout out too in the podcast and one of the later episodes after what do you call it, you go compete. I'll let everybody know how you went along, like, if I don't have you on straight away anyway, like, you know what I mean? But how you good, man, anyway, for coming on.
Thanks very much.
Cheers, lad.